Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Coach B, the CEO, co creator of Extraordinary Outcomes. I work with ready to grow leaders to create clarity, counterbalance, and freedom so they can own what's next and make value led choices. Today, let's talk about freedom begins with one honest decision. Freedom begins with one honest decision. We're going to talk about that today. Freedom is not the freedom is not what people chase. Let me just say that again. Freedom is not what people chase. Freedom is not about the chase. It is about the kind of leadership or leaders choose. Let me say that again. I'm a little nervous, so I apologize, right? So leaders talk about freedom, not the kind people chase, but the kind leaders choose. So we're not chasing freedom, we're choosing freedom. We're not chasing it, we're choosing it. Freedom, when we think about freedom, we think about if we had more time, if we had more money, when things settle down, when things calm down, then we will have more freedom. If you can relate to that, leave it in the comments. Say one, just the number one. That lets me know that you're listening and that you can relate. Again, most people think freedom comes from having more time, more money, or a period in their life where things are slowed down. But freedom doesn't begin out of that, it begins with one honest decision. It begins with one honest decision. And the reason why I'm repeating that or emphasizing that freedom comes from one honest decision, because if you're not honest, then how can you make a decision that is going to set you up with freedom? So, some of the things that an honest decision sounds like, this is no longer mine to manage. This is no longer mine to manage. Maybe you're putting too much on your plate, but maybe it's not yours to manage. So, do you take a step back, look at what's on your plate, and say, you know what? This is not mine to manage. Are you saying yes, 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 yes? And remember, we talked about this in a previous video. Every time you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. Have you outgrown the role, the pattern, or the expectation? Again, we want to look at honesty. Once we get accurate, then the freedom comes just from the pure point of getting clear, getting accurate, getting honest. Just in that small act alone, there's some freedom because you're not carrying stuff that's unreasonable. What keeps leaders stuck isn't the lack of options, it is the avoidance of honesty. So we have a lot of options that we can choose from, but what good are the options if they're not based in honesty? Let me give you an example. Let's say, for an example, you cannot stand something. Let me say vanilla. I'm not a big fan of vanilla. I like chocolate, I like strawberry. And somebody offers me vanilla, and I've expressed no, vanilla is really not my thing, but I take it anyway. I'm being dishonest to myself. I've expressed it to them, but I'm not standing on my honesty. So I could say, vanilla is not my choice. I appreciate your offer. No, thank you. Now that's being honest with them, being honest with myself, and standing on my standards. That's just some random example so that you can get the concept of what I'm saying. Because honesty disrupts comfort. So sometimes being dishonest for some people has a payoff. Yeah, I'm gonna take the vanilla. I don't really like it. I don't want to go through uh, making someone upset, so I'm gonna eat it. They offered it. They're a nice person. I really want to make them happy. However, if I get honest, it's going to disrupt that, and it's going to be uncomfortable because I need to find a way to say yes, but no. Thank you for the offer. No, it's not for me. It's not for me. That's really not my thing. And not only does it, the honesty disrupt the discomfort of people pleasing, it also challenges you, the individual. It challenges your identity. Who do I want to be in this moment? Do I want to be a person that is dishonest on some level to myself and others? And it requires letting go of what who you've been responding. Let me say that again. I'm sorry again, right? And it requires letting go of what or who you've been responsible for being. That don't even make no sense. Let me go over that one more time, right? And it requires letting go of who you've been responsible for being. Again, when I'm honest and I'm living in integrity, who am I being? If I'm being dishonest, I'm responsible for that. If I'm being honest, I'm responsible for that. Freedom isn't dramatic. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. It's not dramatic. It's really quiet. It begins the moment you stop negotiating with misalignment. Again, only I know deep down inside whether or not I'm being honest with myself. I know I don't like vanilla ice cream. I know that somebody offered me vanilla ice cream. I want to make them happy at the cost of making myself unhappy. It's okay for me to be honest and say, thank you, but no thank you. Again, that simple thing can open the door to so much freedom because once you practice that, then you're able to do what? Be honest in other areas. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more leadership insight. Freedom begins with one honest decision. Again, I wanted to use something simple that you can relate to. Freedom begins with one honest decision. What is it that you need to be honest with? Let me just put this up here. Let me just show this. And it's something to think about. Just something to think about. I'll leave it up there for a few minutes before I close it out. Before I close it out. Just something to reflect on. If today's message spoke to you, stay connected. Every Wednesday, I bring clarity, counterbalance, and freedom to leaders ready to create their future intentionally. Like, subscribe, and share with leaders who are ready to own what's next. I'm Coach B, the CEO, Clarity, Counterbalance, and Freedom. This is how you own what's next. Again, freedom starts with one honest decision. I'll see you next Wednesday.